Hello friends, welcome back to B Pharma Vibes. In today's video, we will be discussing everything about crystallization technique. Crystallization technique is one of the purification and separation technique, and in the process we will get a pure sample from a crude one. Okay, so we have discussed in the earlier video that the first step towards separation or purification can be your filtration process, simple filtration, where you get rid of the insoluble impurities. Now in this process of crystallization, you will not only get rid of insoluble impurities but also of soluble impurities. So let's begin the discussion. First, you need to understand what we are having with us. We are having a crude sample with us. So suppose this is my crude sample. Now what it must be having? It must be having our analyte, which is dissolved in a particular solvent, and as it is a crude sample, it will have soluble impurities and as well as insoluble impurities. Okay, so just remember the notations I am using because it is easier for me to write it in short forms. So this is analyte, I'll write it here. A is for analyte, S is for solvent, then Si is for soluble impurities, and II is for insoluble impurities. So henceforth in this video I'll use these notations. Now this is everything we have with us and which we are regarding as a solution of crude sample. Okay, now what we are going to do is we are going to separate the soluble impurities and insoluble impurities from the analyte, and only what we will have finally is the analyte in the solvent. Okay, so let's discuss how it can happen. So the first step I'm going to do is I'm going to make a saturated solution. So I'll start adding my analyte in the solution or in the solvent. Okay, so once I start adding my analyte, obviously soluble and insoluble impurities will be a part and parcel of the crude solution or crude substance, so they will also come, and as I go on adding this particular A along with soluble and insoluble impurities, I am going to add it in solvent and we will start dissolving or stirring the solution so that saturated solution is obtained. Now what is saturated solution? A point comes when it is no longer possible to dissolve a particular solute in the given solvent. A point comes when the solvent just refuses to dissolve any more solute in it. The point is called as saturation point, and the solution is now called as saturated solution. Okay, now here you remember one thing, saturation is completely dependent on temperature. Okay, I'll show you how. So at room temperature, whatever amount of analyte was possible, that is dissolved in the solvent along with the soluble impurities and insoluble impurities. Now this is what the solution contains. Now what I am going to do is I am going to heat this particular mixture. Now what will happen? You must have observed this. If you are dissolving salt in water, a point comes where the salt no more dissolves in water, but if you heat that particular solution, the salt dissolves. This means the solubility is dependent on temperature. As you increase the temperature, the solubility increases. So now when I heat the particular solution, everything will go and dissolve in the solution. Okay, now everything, analyte, soluble impurities and solvent, they are all in completely dissolved form, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to filter this particular solution while it is hot, because I cannot take chance. If I allow it to cool down to room temperature, the salt may come out because we have forcefully dissolved it under the influence of temperature, so it should not come out of the solution now. So while hot, immediately we will filter this solution, and now you tell me what you will retain on the filter paper. Now analyte, solvent and soluble impurities, they will fall down in the filtrate, but in the soluble impurities, they're insoluble, no, in the solvent, so they are as good as out of the solution, so they will be retained on the filter paper, and in this process you have separated the insoluble impurities from the crude mixture anyways. So now in the filtrate, what you are having, you are having your analyte, you are having some soluble impurities dissolved in the solvent. Okay, now our next move must be to ensure that these soluble impurities are removed. So for that, what I'm going to do is I'll be pouring this mixture into a large evaporating dish, and I'll be allowing this mixture to cool down to room temperature or even below that. So in the process, what will happen, the analyte which we forcefully dissolved under the influence of temperature, so temperature you are eliminating, now you are taking out the temperature from the system, you are cooling down the solution, so the solute analyte will start to come out of the solution, and so what you will get is crystals of the substance A. This analyte will start to come out of the solution, and now it is coming out of the solution, it is coming alone. Soluble impurities are very highly soluble in the solvent, because we are choosing the solvent in such a way that, okay, I'll tell you how we are choosing the solvent. The solvent must be so that our analyte is sparingly soluble in the solvent at room temperature, but highly soluble in the solvent at increased temperature or elevated temperatures. This allows us to make use of this particular property and separate out the solute from the solution at room temperature. So what does it mean? It means ki at room temperature your solute is partially soluble, less soluble, so your saturation will be saturation point will come early, but once you heat it, it is highly soluble, so immediately the solute will turn into solution, complete solution, true solution. But as again you are cooling down the solution, your analyte will come out of the solution, so we can make use of this property, na? And again we are choosing the solvent where the soluble impurities will have high affinity. So when the solute is coming out, when the analyte is coming out, soluble impurities will stick with the solvent, they will not come out with the analyte. Okay, so analyte only will crystallize, and what is remaining in the solvent are soluble impurities. So soluble impurities are still a part of solvent, but your A means your analyte has come out of the solution. Now we can again use a filtration assembly, and on the filter paper this time we will retain pure crystals of A, which is our analyte, and the soluble impurities and solvent will come down. Soluble impurities and solvent will come down. Okay, so in this process what happened, in the first filtration you separated the insoluble impurities, and in the second filtration you separated, on the filter paper you got your analyte, but finally you separated the soluble impurities from your analyte, no? So in this process you have separated insoluble and soluble impurities from your analyte, and then you can dry this analyte and you can use it as a pure sample. Now whatever analytical procedures you will perform using this pure sample, they will give you great results. I hope you have understood the concept of crystallization. Thank you so much for watching. Keep watching B Pharma Wise, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.